So you were a doctor, you did medicine for what, 10 years? This idea of the idli dosa batter, what was that?
I had grown up eating the best idli dosas. When I go to Bangalore, I travel like 35, 40 kilometers
Oh
from
my
my
God.
house. I felt, why not create that magic?
We are not expected to really forge careers. We are just told, okay, you have to study, you have to work, you have to get married, you have to have babies, you have to raise a family.
Yeah. My mom today, I mean, she's happy what I'm doing, but she says like, इतनी पढ़ाई की, सब कुछ किया, now you're making idli dosa batter. I realized this ready to cook category is very, very unique and very appealing because you save a lot of time for the housewives. It's a convenient solution to an everyday problem.
Beyond Pink is about women who are leading a new way of life in India. I'm Sangi Mal, your host. You know, Sangeeta, when I look at you and when I think about the story of Atta Girl, it is like a novel. For me, it's like a novel. Because I'm a writer, so I only think in terms of books. And you know, that drama, pathos, and then the ultimate delight, all those elements are there in your story. So I'm so glad that you are here today to share that story with everyone. I'm so glad that I'm the one who gets to chat with you. And I'm so glad that we are doing this together on Beyond Pink. You know, when some things need to be told, one doesn't believe them. Like when somebody told me that you're actually Dr. Sangeeta Garg.
Yes.
And I said, that's not something that's believable. I can't believe that she's a doctor, you know? So I said, okay, let me hear it from you. How you ended up from there to here, what happened then? That's the first part of it, which is so interesting. And I love to hear that story from you.
So it's nice to hear you find the story. While I was living it up, I thought it was very boring from doctor to now. Like, what was I thinking, right? So, yeah, I mean, I did my medicine.
You're sounding very matter of fact. Like I did my medicine,
I did my medicine because
99% of the country doesn't get to say that actually.
yeah. I mean, at that point, it seemed like a very noble idea, very exciting idea. But today, it's a matter of fact. In fact, I don't even like to discuss about my medical journey because I moved away so far away from it, right? So yeah, I did my medicine, but I think somewhere I knew that this was not my path. But I got into it, and it's very difficult to come out of the conventional route and do something that your heart
Yeah,
and
once you are into something, you are into it. There is
yeah.
no thinking ये करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए.
Exactly. You
ये
need a
कर
lot
रहे
of
हैं, कर रहे
grit.
हैं.
Yeah, you need a lot of conviction, self belief, grit to believe that this is not your path and you have to come out of it and do what you want to do, right? So it took me.
And I don't think anybody, not many people, I think you have to be really exceptional to.
Yeah, there are people
Yeah.
who take this
Yeah.
path, right? But I was not one
No,
of them.
no,
Most
and
of us are not.
most of us, we are
Yeah.
scared. We are
Yeah.
scared of what society will say, oh, why did she change? Why has she changed her mind? Is she so frivolous? She doesn't even know her own mind. Kya hai? Itne, so whimsical, something like that. They just
So
sort
that
of don't
is
understand
yeah.
also.
So that is one aspect, and also I think for me that was one point. But the other thing was the fear of failure. Like, I'm going to become a doctor. I will do my my specialization. I have a cutout medical practice. Now, if I leave this, how do I like? What do I do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
What is plan B?
Yeah. What is plan B? Right. And but that plan B happened. I can say in my start of a second mid innings of my life. So yeah.
All hindsight is 2020. In hindsight we can say whatever, we could have done this, we could have done that, but in that moment of decision, and also we being very middle class India, We are just told that these are the acceptable professions to follow. Let's face it.
Right, right.
Now things might have changed, but earlier that was the thing. So you were a doctor, I did my MBA, because we were expected to do that.
Huh.
And the other thing also is that there is no game plan because we are not expected to really forge careers. We don't have that in our mind when we start. We are just told, okay, you have to study, you have to work, you have to get married, you have to have babies, you have to raise a family.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
We follow the normal norm that everybody is doing.
That
yeah.
everybody is doing.
Huh.
And if you say that, but that's not what I want to do, you never think of it like that. You never
Yeah.
think of it. So, yeah, I mean, I hear you when you say that you did medicine for what, 10 years?
I did that for 10 years, yes.
And you went off to the US also. You did your
Yes.
licensing. Oh my God, you did your licensing in the US also.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I
is-
did the whole 9 yards, and then my mom today, I mean, she's happy what I'm doing, but she says like, इतनी पढ़ाई की, सब कुछ किया, now you're making idli dosa batter.
So tell us about that. How this whole thing. Where did this idea of the
So my
idli
second
dosa
inning.
batter?
So my second
your
inning.
second inning,
Yeah.
as you
So my
call
second
it.
inning started. So I knew that this was not for me, but I could just not come out of that rat race. It's like a race, right? We're ticking all the checklists. ये किया, पढ़ाई की, MBA किया. You did your fellowship and all of that stuff. So I think after I came back from US.
Why did you come back from the
For my
US?
visa.
Okay.
I had to apply for my renew my visa, and I felt like this is not for me. I think I was just so
Okay.
unhappy being there, and I still would have just gone back had I not got the option of changing my field.
Okay.
I moved into consulting, in the healthcare consulting, and I did that for a good 6-7 years. Well, I liked it, but it was not really. I didn't love it, but it was like it was my escape
Okay.
from medicine.
It's a job.
Yeah, it's a job, right?
It's a job.
Yeah, and then within that 7 years, I worked in Bangalore and then moved to Bombay after I got married. I think when my kids were 3 years old, I think I felt like I should do something small, something which is more mentally stimulating. I loved motherhood, but I felt like there has to be something more to my life than just doing this, right? And that's where this whole idea generated. I had grown up eating the best idli dosas. I've always been a passionate foodie, right? And I felt like, I know my food so well. I'm very detail oriented when it comes to food. I understand fine taste, and I always thought I would do good if I did something around food, and that's the time I started playing around food ingredients, and and then I shortlisted South Indian food because it was very close to my
Because
heart.
you're a South Indian.
I am not
In a way.
In a way, I spent
In a
most
way.
of my life, and I remember that when I was in Bangalore, even now actually, when I go to Bangalore, I go to these hole in the wall kind of places, and I have to I travel like 35-40 kilometers
Oh
from
my
my
God.
house to eat that perfect dosa, to eat that
35
perfect-
kilometers to eat a dosa?
Yes, so my family.
I wouldn't
like-
travel even 5 kilometers to eat a dosa.
Exactly,
I'm
I have done that.
Jo hai, khila do.
Wohi khila do, right? And my family would be like, oh my God, she's coming now. Everybody would take turn to take me to those destinations, right? It was, for them, it was like a backpacking trip,
Of course.
and
Who goes 35 kilometers to eat a dosa?
I know, I did. And that too,
Yeah.
to beat the traffic, to beat the Bangalore traffic.
Yes.
So luckily for me, those places would be open at 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
So I would put an alarm of 6 o'clock. Otherwise, I can never get up in the morning. I'm a.
But for a dosa, you are willing to get
I
up.
woke up and we
Wow.
would leave at 7 o'clock because then I know that you beat the traffic in half an hour you reach your place. So anyway, coming back to Bombay, I felt why not create that magic, that that
I
soft.
like I mean, just to think that you use the word magic for a dosa. That to me is really exceptional.
I take my food very seriously.
It looks like it. Yeah, and thank God for that. Thank God that you do.
There are people who just eat to live. I live to eat, and I'm guilty of that. And I
Proud of that. Why guilty?
Yeah, guilty
Proud
maybe
of
for
that.
others, but yeah, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
So I said, why not create that magic here, right? And that's when Art Girl happened. I started from my little kitchen, and even then there was always, I didn't have the self belief. Self belief is just not important. It's very very critical in something that you want to do out of the
I
box.
mean, it is to start anything new, you have to have some amount of, as it is, you are so insecure, so unsure, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know if it'll work, you don't know what the world thinks of you. There are so many
Exactly.
unknowns
Yeah.
when
So
you
many
start.
unknown variables, and then
Yes,
yeah.
and so we hear so many stories of people who said, "Oh, I wanted to do this, but I did not, and
Yeah.
now it's too late. I wanted to, become a dancer, but at that time I didn't have the confidence, or I
Right.
wanted."
Right.
And it's always the safe path. You just do what is expected of you. You don't really,
No, but
try to take a risk and say,
yeah,
"I am good at it." I might just be very good at
very
it.
good at it. No, so you
Yeah.
take the safe path, like as you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I started, and then I still remember I had few friends over, and I fed them this multigrain veggie dosa, which I had, So I was doing R&D for quite a few months. And I think just even doing R&D, feeding my friends and family
They
was
must
very,
have been
very
so
fulfilling.
happy.
Yeah, very happy.
Fulfilling for them
Yeah,
also.
fulfilling for them and me. I enjoy feeding. So, and at that moment, one of my friends said, "This is so good. You should get this. This should see the light of the day."
How
And I
nice.
had made an extra batch. So I made small, small dabbas, supplied it to my residential grocery store. And the pickup was amazing. And in the world of viral videos and WhatsApp, it became instant viral hit, and then there was no looking back. So that was my moment of validation. It's a moment that told me, yes, this is possible, and that's where my journey started.
What did that make you feel?
So when I started this, I first stayed focused to just the residential store in my building because I didn't have so much capacity. And then I quickly realized that it was so well liked by the customers, by the residents of my building, that they started gifting this. It became a gift item,
Fantastic.
and
That is
and
fantastic.
in no time I started getting calls from all over Bombay that we believe that you are doing this, where can we get it, it's not
Amazing.
easy to get,
And
so then
and this was at a time when branded batters were not a big thing at
no, it was
all.
not
I
at
mean,
all
you got
organized
batters in
market.
a
Yeah,
plastic
yeah.
theli with a rubber band
It
on
was,
top.
although ID had started, so the journey had just, the market had just sort of
Very new
yeah, very
start.
new.
I mean, I still remember we were buying those
Exactly.
unbranded batters,
Ha ha.
and so to make that move at that time, it's a very bold,
Yeah.
step in that sense.
If I didn't get that kind of customer stories and testimonial, I don't think I would have been here. It just gave me validation, and it sort of builds on your self belief that this is possible, right? And then I started reaching out to. So I reached out to one or two stores, and they happily took they first took for sampling and they loved it, and then after that, what was amazing is, like, I would get calls from store owners. Oh, we heard about your batters. We want to stock it in our store. So that was very good, right?
I mean, that's a thrill.
Yeah, that's a thrill.
Usually, I mean, because I'm married to a retailer, usually I know that for people to get their products into stores is for them to do all this running around
Yeah,
and get it into a store. You
it's a
don't,
wild goose chase. I mean,
yeah,
and the retailers don't give you any
it's,
bow.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But for this was the other way. This was a flip of
This was a
that.
complete flip, and from like a specialized grocery store to modern retail stores, I was flooded with calls and meetings, and my capacity was still very small. So then quickly we moved from one manufacturing unit to another. So I've been a little bit frugal in the way I've run my operations. Uh, so, right away, I should have just taken a big unit, realizing that this will become much more than what I'm sort of envisaging. So anyway,
But
we moved
hindsight is 2020.
2020. So who knew, right?
How would you know?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how does it matter?
And this journey also was beautiful, right?
Yes.
It full of surprises. Nothing was planned. It didn't come with a blueprint. Learning was on the go. So
It's a true entrepreneurial journey in that sense that you are just learning, you're pushing, you are getting out of your comfort zone, because I'm sure it's not easy to talk to retailers by and large.
Yeah.
For someone who's not used to it, how do you go to a shopkeeper and how do you, sit across the table with him and discuss this? And most of them are male, so how do you get your terms across?
Yeah, so all that has been a learning, and from one step to another.
Yeah.
So while all this was happening, I was moving from one manufacturing unit to another. I realized this ready to cook category is very, very, very unique and very appealing, because you save a lot of time for the housewives. It's a convenient solution to an everyday problem.
That's true.
And
I would love it if somebody did that for chapatis, actually.
yeah,
It would
imagine
release so many of us from the kitchen.
kitchen, exactly. So this is where then I went on to launching many items. So first we started with one batter. So today we do different, like about 11 to 12 types
Goodness
of batters.
me.
Yeah.
11 batters.
Yeah, and every
That's
time
a
I
lot
re-
of SKUs.
Yeah, that's a lot of SKUs, and so every time we launch something, and I'm like, this is it, because it's not easy to deal with this cold chain product, and I feel like they have shorter, shelf life. But then I'm like, every time I do R&D, and I'm like, oh, this is so good. This has to see the light of the day, right? And so it went
And
on
you are
from
seeing magic in every product that you're doing.
absolutely.
You're seeing magic.
I
There is magic in
to
this.
it. So my friends think
I
I'm
love that word, magic.
so my friends think I'm a food snob, because I just don't like. Food is so personal to me, and I feel you should not eat anything which is, it has
Sometimes
to be
it's good to be a snob, right?
Snob, yeah.
Sometimes it's good to be a snob. Why
So,
should we not be a
be a
snob?
snob, right? So we do now batters, we do chutneys, we came up with spices. We were the first one to do filter coffee decoction, and and we are looking to launch another 10-15 SKUs in 2026. We'll see.
That's
where
great.
how
Yeah,
that goes.
no, I'm sure it'll go very well, considering all that you've, and this whole journey has taken you, 10 years?
10 years. 10 years.
So 10 years is a long time to stay with a business and grow the
Absolutely,
business
yeah.
and build it. And I'm just thinking that what are the challenges that one faces when one does that? Like, and this is your solo venture. You don't have any partners, you
Yeah.
don't have investors, you don't have anybody. This is you, you are Atta Girl.
Yeah.
Or should I call you Atta Girl?
So I'll tell you a bit of a story here, anecdote. So when we were looking for a brand name, uh, and we hired a marketing company, and they came up with some really crazy names. And then my husband was helping me.
Like what? What were the
Like
crazy names?
Millet Amma.
Oh my.
Something.
I can't see you
yeah,
as
I know.
an
So
Amma, no.
yeah, exactly. My
Yeah.
husband was like, look, my wife is pretty and she's
Yeah.
young. She wouldn't like to be called Millet Amma.
Yes.
So then there was a lot of back and forth. And then finally one day they came up, just when I had almost lost hope that they're going to come up with anything interesting or unique. They come up with the name. So my husband tells him, look, this is about my wife. She loves food. Okay, she's passionate about what she does. And she's young. So it has to reflect, the brand name should reflect her persona.
Personality.
Yeah. And
Totally.
so they came back after a week, and they said Atta Girl. And I'm like, no way, I don't want to be called an Atta Girl. So then my husband
Who
is
is
like,
Atta Girl?
Yeah, exactly, right? Atta Girl. And so my husband is like, you know what? It's actually a very interesting name, Atta Girl, somebody who's done a
Atta
good job.
boy, Atta Girl. Yeah.
So he said, why don't you sleep over it and we'll revisit this the next day. And then the next day, I woke up and I'm like, there can't be a better name for my brand. But at that point I wanted to be called as an Atta girl, because I thought Atta girl was very
Not cool.
not too cool, right?
Doesn't look
And
cool.
today the journey has come from Atta girl to Atta girl. I very proudly say I'm the Atta girl.
That is so sweet. I love that. That is amazing, just to
Yeah.
own it up.
Yeah.
This is me. I'm
This
Atta
is
girl.
me.
Yeah.
And they say, right, I mean, it defines me who I am.
Ah, ah.
Proudly. So coming back, so there were a lot of challenges. You're dealing with a cold chain product. Everyday temperatures have to be maintained, logistics. So I think that was a big part of the whole process. But then we quickly realized that, see, this journey also tells you, while you're hit with roadblocks and you sort of hit a wall, and then you take a step back, it makes you patient, makes you calmer. You don't react, you respond, right? And I had learned, this was also a journey from hitting the panic button to, like, okay, how do I solve this problem? So we realized that any of our products maintained at 4-degree temperature will do very well. So we started opening our own warehouses.
Okay.
So today we have about 7 warehouses across Mumbai. Vashi, Thane, Malad, Vikhroli, South Mumbai, Shivri, Bandra, and then
Basically covering the
yeah. So
entire
anybody,
geography
yeah,
of
entire
Mumbai.
geography. So anybody who wants Atta Girl product can get it in less than half an hour.
Okay.
So through our website, through food aggregators, so that has worked very well for us.
That's great. And
Yeah.
that makes your brand like a pan Mumbai brand.
Yeah, pan Mumbai. Yeah. So right now we are just in Mumbai. We are looking to move to Pune in the next 6 months.
Excellent.
Yeah. So the brand is picked up by just not the local the local crowd,
Yeah.
even the celebrities, the cricketers, the politicians.
Very
And
nice.
so
So
you
I'm
feel-
sharing something with cricketers and politicians.
Yes,
I'm happy
yes.
to know that. Yes, I take it.
And
Yes.
the who's who is a Atta Girl customer, and so that feels nice that you have done something good, right?
Do strangers come up to you and sort of say,
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
if I'm in a party or something, and the host makes it a point to introduce me as, okay, she is the Atta Girl, and then the response
that's such a
and
warm
the
feeling. That's such a warm feeling.
So the excitement, the thrill that you're the Atta Girl, and then they want to click photos with me. So I feel like, okay, this is my moment of glory. So so it feels very nice. It feels I never thought what emerged as a pure love for food would come such a long way and give me that kind of recognition in a place like Bombay. I find that very, very fulfilling.
Very heartening. Of course, it is very heartening. And it's the stuff, like I said, it reads like a novel, then finally there is delight at the end of it. But I wonder, so you and I, we have followed a similar trajectory where we weren't happy in what we were doing. And then we made a choice. And that choice was to change and switch to what we are actually doing or actually love doing.
Yeah.
So you went on to your true calling, which is to create magic inside a batter. And I went on to edit and write. Sometimes I wonder that are women better at doing this than men, at flipping, at changing careers, at, ultimately reaching out for what they really enjoy doing? Are they, what do you feel about that?
But I think it also emerged from like how we are flexible, right? We are very, very, we don't look at things as black and white.
We are good at multitasking.
Yeah, we are good in multitasking, and
we don't stick to our stance. I feel that we
are
have
flexible.
that fluidity.
Yeah, we are
that if we don't grow or we are not comfortable with something, we have the ability to move on, create a new role for ourselves, rather than just get stuck in that and then also have a kind of thing to say, oh, how can I change? What will people think of me? What will society think of me? That kind of nimble-footedness, do you think we have? I always feel that there are so many people around me who would want to change and can't.
Yeah, so I think being flexible, being multitasking, and I think it also has to do with we don't carry so much bag and baggage, like, you know, no, women carry a lot of bag and baggage, but I think ego and arrogance, we are okay to fail. We don't take ourselves that seriously, right?
We don't take ourselves that
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah. You
Totally.
know, and like, why Article happened? A, because I was very passionate about it, and also finding some sort of a relevance in my life, right? And that sort
Correct.
of pushed me to do, you know, what I did. So I don't know if that answers your question. I think there are multiple elements that go around why women do things differently from men.
I remember reading something very interesting. So there is this movie director, unfortunately, she's no more, Nora Ephron. And she gave a commencement speech to her alma mater, Wellesley, where she's directed movies like You've Got Mail,
Yes.
Sleepless in
Yeah.
Seattle, all those. And she was a journalist, author. So I really admire her. And she said that, you know, uh, sometimes they would play a game in a restaurant where while they were waiting for their food to come, they would write on their napkin their attributes and then take the napkin home. And 10 years later, when they were playing the same game, she found that all her attributes had changed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
she was a journalist, she became a film director, then she became a novelist, then she became a screenplay writer. You know, the roles kept emerging, her attributes kept changing. She was very obsessive.
So that you have your answer.
There. See?
Yeah, you have your answer, that they are very easily adaptable. You know, very flexible. They can work around different situations, and that's what makes it even easier, I think, to come out of the box and think differently, create that sort of, build that sort of self belief, and go after it.
Did you ever think, what if this doesn't work out? What next?
So no, the fear is always there, the fear of failure. But once, so anything in life, it almost seems impossible till you
Do it.
do it, and you imagine,
make it possible.
Yeah, till you make it possible, right? And also you believe that we always we suffer from where we think the worst outcome.
Yeah. Pessimism of the
Yeah,
worst kind.
yeah. We always
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we always imagine the worst possible scenario, right?
Yeah.
And then actually it is not so bad.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can say this after having gone through the Article journey. And today, even when I'm looking at new projects, I'm looking at new ideas, and that fear does creep in. But then I take a pen and paper. Okay, I said, I want to do this. What are my worst outcome? So this can go wrong, this can go wrong. Let's assume everything can go wrong. So what? Right? At least I will not regret having tried. I will regret not having tried at all.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and,
brilliant.
And this
Yeah.
has been my learning. You know, don't, and also I, you know, so anything that you want to do and you feel like, oh my God, this is not achievable, break it down into small tasks.
Okay.
And then those small tasks.
So you're just deconstructing the problem
Exactly.
in front of you,
Yeah.
just deconstructing it to smallest elements, noting them down and saying, okay, can I do this? Can I do
Exactly. And then the moment you finish the first and second task, the third one becomes very easy.
this? So, in a sense, what you're saying resonates with me, because that's how I start writing my book. Because to write 350 pages in one go, it's a mammoth venture and becomes
And it's such a lonely journey.
It's such a lonely
yeah,
journey.
entrepreneur, writers is a very lonely journey.
Yeah, so
You have to constantly keep motivating yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you have to put down your own little markers of success. You know, you give yourself, like how they put stars in a notebook for a child's notebook to say, okay, you did this,
Yeah.
this is a star. So you have to give those stars to yourself.
Absolutely.
And for me, what works is when I say, okay, 350 pages, if I write 10 pages a day, it's just 35 days. Yeah. Just do the math. It's 35 days, 10 pages a day. So it may not become 10 pages. Someday it is 2 pages. And some days, you know, I could write 25 pages at a stretch. But just that making it a smaller, bite-sized issue just makes it so much easier to handle.
And enjoyable.
So today everybody talks about networking and talks about building a network, and how networking is important. And
You're talking like my husband.
yeah, I mean, that's what one hears all the time,
Yeah, yeah.
that go out there, you have to stay connected, and people are in such a hurry to connect with strangers, also complete strangers, in the belief that they are creating a network.
Huh.
But your network has been very organic,
Huh.
so I just wonder again, is it something to do with women, how women deal with people, what their approach to people is? Do you think that matters?
So I think it also has to
I mean,
be.
your network has been totally personal.
Yeah, and also depends. I mean, so I think networking for men and women are very different, and I say this from my experience.
Yeah.
We come with the little emotional attachment with our, right? It's
We
like
do,
an
we do,
investment.
we
Yeah.
do, we do.
We do. So even though
We
you're
just get
out,
so invested in our
yeah,
relationships.
and that's how, because we are wired, right?
That's how we are wired.
Yeah, it comes very intuitively. We like to nurture every relationship, whether it's with your staff at home or with anybody, and it holds the same with the whole networking ecosystem. So yeah, networking is important, and yeah.
But it's worked in your favor that you had all these people around you to help you, support you, encourage you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It has worked, and although
And-
I've not gone out of my way to network because I'm that way very lazy.
Yes, that's the other thing that has happened. Network has become a verb.
Yeah.
To network. Until
to-
a few years ago, that was not
it didn't,
in
yeah.
our language,
Yeah.
right?
And it takes effort to, like, for a woman, I think it takes effort, because I can't just go out and make conversation in thin air and build some sort of a connection, and increasingly now it's becoming tough, but I think
Makes it very artificial.
yeah, yeah.
Very forced.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas you just have your friends, you have your neighbors, you meet them in the morning, you go for a morning walk. They're there, you just get chatting, like how you and I met also.
Yeah, exactly.
So that becomes a true network, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I think now I don't have so much energy in me to go out and network, but I have.
Why would you? You've
Yeah,
done a lot.
yeah. So now I
mean,
have enough and more people, and we've made some really deep connections, and I
Depth
think
matters.
Yeah, depth matters,
Depth
and not
matters.
not the quantity.
not the quantity.
Yeah. So no, it's very important, and it has really worked in my favor. From professional to personal aspect, and yeah.
So through this journey, and we keep circling back to your journey because it is remarkable, is there anything that you took for granted?
The journey, or in general, taking things for granted?
Either. Was there anything that you said, theek hai, like how we take the sun in the morning for granted?
So I think as human beings, we take everything for granted, and I take everything for granted. I take from the time you wake up, you take your maid for granted, and the day she's not there, then it's a reality check, right? So on, and but I think what has happened in 10 years, things that I've taken for granted, and I've learned my lessons in a hard way, and I have this immense gratitude that today I wake up, and while so many things can go wrong, but then there are so many things that are going right, and I have immense gratitude, and no, I don't
So
take
take-
anything for granted.
Take nothing for granted.
Take nothing for granted, because you don't know how your life can change in a fraction of a second.
In a fraction of a
Yeah.
second, your life can
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
Yeah.
So find happiness in the smallest things. You hit a roadblock, you can find solutions to your problem without getting bogged down. It is just your perspective changes. So I think this is what this journey has done. My perspective.
It has changed you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't take anything for granted. And I feel there is always a solution to problems.
So you've been solving problems all along the way.
Yeah.
At every stage.
Imagine I'm dealing with a cold chain product which has less than 5 days shelf life. And I'm supplying to retail stores, and and their cold chain is so badly maintained. Uh, and then I'm working with the white collar team, right? And just when you need them the most, they bail out on you. So just to give you an example, during COVID time, while everything else was shut, you would know Ata Girl was functioning. 80% of my team disappeared. It was just
Correct.
me. It was 2 3 people, and my cook left, my cleaner left. Even situation at home was very very dicey, right? And but we didn't shut the factory, we didn't shut our shop. I would wake up in the morning, make my entire family ka breakfast, lunch, dinner. Because once if I would come out of the house, I can't keep coming back and forth because of the restrictions. And then I would come back in the night. And then I'm there in the factory. And it was like coming out of your comfort zone. I did from cleaning to cutting to grinding. I've done it all, right?
Just to make sure that the show keeps going
Exactly.
on.
Yeah.
The show runs on.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't stop.
every team member was sort of filling in for 5 people, and the orders were crazy. One day, I still remember those days. We had Skutsi, right? And
Yes.
then Swiggy bought it.
Yes.
I had the CEO of like the head of the Bombay thing call me up at like 7:30 in the morning and panicking. So I said, "What happened?" He's like, "Have you seen your inbox? There are some 200, 300 orders
Goodness.
waiting on your inbox. We've pulled down your restaurant." Okay. And
Oh.
I was so tired because I was literally working for 5 people. I've never done so much grind work. And I just woke up. I told my family to figure out their lunch, breakfast, everything. I said, just pretend I'm not there today. And I ran to work. So while it was tough, it just seemed like, oh my God, how.
And so much learning involved.
Yeah. Today it seemed
You
like,
learn
wow,
so much about yourself.
that you can push your when the time comes, you can travel that extra mile. We just feel we are not there. So I think another important thing, another story that I remember, um once we had taken order with this big housing society in Goregaon. There was some
And how far
80,
is
90
that from where
Goregaon.
you live?
So
From
it's
where your
about
workshop?
25 kilometers,
Okay.
right? There were 70 75 orders in just
Okay.
one building.
Fantastic.
And the delivery boy did a no-show.
Oh,
And
then what
I'm
did you
like,
do?
and then just canceling and returning the money would have been more.
Gives you a bad name also, right?
yeah.
That you're not reliable.
I think, no, bad name, yes, but also the situations were extraordinary. But I just felt like I have to make sure these deliveries are done because everything was packed and all that. So I get one of my lady in the car. We carry everything in the boot space, and then we go to the building.
Oh,
And here I am going door to door delivery.
delivering in a
Yes.
straight 25 kilometers
Yes,
away, having
exactly.
driven them. So you
Yeah.
are the driver, you're the delivery
Yeah.
boy, you are the cook.
Yeah. And I said, I don't want anyone to know it's the owner. So I wore a mask, but then I think they figured that, and they said, "Oh, you're the Ata girl." And I would just nod and just pretend like I didn't hear. So,
You are
there's-
bigger than, Ata
Yeah.
girl is bigger than you.
Yeah. So
Ah.
imagine when things, it makes you a real person, Sangeeta.
Yeah.
And you feel like when you decide to do something, you
And
find
it lends
the,
you so much more depth.
as a person.
As a person,
yeah,
compared
confidence, depth, and
compared to maybe your peer group also, you feel that you can face any situation and win over it, somehow win over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Today, I feel if any situation is thrown at me, I don't panic the way I used to. I, with a very calm head, I know there's a solution. वो नाक को तुम ऐसे पकड़ो या वैसे, you'll find a solution. And I tell this to my team also.
And that's part of your role as an entrepreneur
Yeah,
also, to
yeah.
find solutions.
To find solution.
Yeah. So, coming back to your journey, and you say, I'm Ata girl is me.
Huh.
But I'm just wondering, surely there were other people, there were investors, there were financiers. You build a business these days, the minute a business has even half a name, there is some fund happening, there's some capital backing it up. In your case, what was that?
When I started this, within a month's time, I started getting call from VCs.
Okay.
I started
That must
getting
have been very flattering
yeah,
also.
yeah, very, very.
Given you a high that,
Yeah.
I'm getting calls from VCs.
VCs, HNIs, and then they would tell me like, oh, we tried your batter and it's so good, and we want to put money in the business.
So how many VCs
Yeah, no,
entered your
we
business?
stayed away from funding.
All funding.
All funding. So this is built. There was no money taken. It was built on my savings, my
I mean, why did you take that decision?
because I was not sure where the business would go, and it had its challenges. And I said I don't want to take somebody else's money and get stuck. Right? Would I have done this differently? Maybe. It's still a question. Like I should have taken money. So I also believe that the brand that I want to create, that magic I want to create, it had to have a different path, because I want to create this magic. I want to create this quality, and it required a lot of nurturing. It required a lot of my personal time, and
And scale is not everything.
yeah, scale is not. Yes, scale is the word I'm talking about. I felt the core intrinsic value, the core philosophy that I was working around, that would have gone out of the window had I made it a scalable product. And so I think that maybe I would have done things differently, but no.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, right?
Maybe
Again,
not.
Maybe not. So I am financially independent, and it's very amazing because you make your call. You have a
Today, Atta Girl is her own entity, her own money, her own income, everything is
yeah,
her own.
and I didn't need anybody else. I can own it to Atta Girl 100%.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have followed a passion, right? And here we are, we tell our kids, padhai karo, padhai karo, padhai karo. First get all those ducks in a row, and then we'll figure out what you want to do. What would you have a little daughter, what would you tell her, given your own experience and what your mother said, that why didn't you do this to begin with?
So I think education is very important. I did medicine, and I was sort of miserable because I didn't enjoy. But it also created some level of discipline, confidence, and I think education is a must. So if my daughter wants to do something, I would first tell her that she needs to finish her education. Her
And you
social
think your education as a doctor has helped you in some way?
in some way, yes. But I really feel I had to go through this entire process for Atta Girl to emerge, because we were not the conventional brand that you see today in the shelf.
Right.
Right? Like we've had a very different journey, and that journey happened because of how my life.
And your brand embodies conviction and passion.
Exactly. So had I got everything easily,
That
Atta Girl
conviction and passion
yeah,
you
would not
have-
reflect, right?
Yeah.
It would not reflect.
True.
So, if I have to tell my 18-year-old, when she turns 18 or whatever, she's, 15 today, education is a must, because that's where you learn your social skills. That's where you get your confidence. That's where you learn discipline. I think it's all about how much discipline you can create for yourself, because everything is possible.
Correct.
But if you don't build that discipline, you will not move an inch forward. And then just go out and do what you like, because something that you like, you will also excel in it.
Yeah.
Right? It'll make you happy. Don't be driven by money. If you're good at it, you're at it for some time, money will
Money
anyway
will
come.
follow.
Money will flow. So don't let money define you, but your passion, by your hard work, and enjoy the process. Don't think about the outcome. It's immaterial. It'll all happen.
That's a very philosophical
I've lived it.
look at
Yeah.
life. Just overcoming hurdles constantly, finding solutions, being in fighting mode all the time. It gives you that confidence that yes, you should be able to do it. You
Yeah.
should be able to, and it gives you that toolbox,
A toolbox,
toolkit.
and also it gets you out of your comfort zone. We
Yes.
just get so comfortable in our state of affairs
Yeah.
that we don't realize that there is something else out there, right?
And to always be challenged means to always stay young.
Yeah, one should always stay young, and I like to believe I'm young and I will never go old.
Yes, that's because you will keep on picking up challenges.
yes.
एक challenge उठाते जाओ. You will always have to be in the learner mode.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, you have to be in the
Yeah.
learner mode.
So I wish my daughter can take this from me. I am totally okay after she finishes a basic grad school. She drops out and says, okay, I don't want to do MBA. I don't want to be in that rat race. I want to carve out my own journey. But I think some level of discipline and self belief is important. But that comes,
And tenacity.
tenacity. Yes, absolutely.
Sticking to it. I mean,
Yeah.
the one quality that I associate you with is tenacity.
Yeah.
What do you think about yourself? This is what I see, but what is it that you see?
So, if I had to define myself or talk about myself in like maybe 3 words or something, yes, I am very tenacious. I am resilient.
Resilient.
Yes, and
So I
very
think
dependable.
entrepreneurs have to develop a thick skin.
Yes.
Also.
And I can tell you all this happened in the last 10 years. It was a slow change. I was not like this when I passed out of my med school. So all this confidence and strength and everything, that entire transformation has happened after, during this journey of Art Girl.
And that is, I mean, I'm so glad that you've shared that over here, that you have confessed to not having these attributes earlier and that you have developed them in this. I'm so grateful to you for having come here, made this time, talked about your journey. I have learned a lot from it. I mean, I am also perpetually in that stage, should I, shouldn't I? But just taking up new challenges feels so energizing. And then when you overcome hurdles the way you have done, that is its own high. So thanks a lot, Sangeeta. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming
and it was
here.
a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much.